Meghna, you're there? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. So again, some disturbance with your mic.
Now, is it audible?
Yeah,
It's
audible,
clear?
but there is some disturbance with your mic. Audible, sir, but disturbance is there.
Hello?
Yeah, sir, it is audible, but some disturbance is there. Again,
Okay, okay. Uh, just
not audible, sir. Your voice is low.
hello. Is it audible now?
Yeah, sir, audible.
Clear?
Audible. Yeah, sir.
Okay. Meghna, are you there? Meghna Jakati?
Yes, sir.
Meghna, all have filled the form, the placement form, except I guess
The database form, right?
Yeah, Pooja, Shrutika, and Mayur. Except these three have everyone filled it.
Yes, sir.
Just
I guess I have to check with Narayan once.
yeah, yeah.
I'll
Please do
check it.
that. Please do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Before we start the class, I want everyone to be in the video mode. Once the class starts, you can off your video. Not an issue at all. But right now, I want you all to be in the video mode. Dhanashri, Sushmita, Zora, and Jasmina, please be come in the video mode. Dhanashri, Zora, please come in the video mode. Tejaswini, Tejaswini, I hope you're not driving. If you're sitting behind, then no issues at all. We do not want any HR issues during an HR class. How are you, Zora? All well?
Yes, sir.
Your hand is out of the cast or it's still in the cast?
No, it's out. It's out now.
Okay. Okay, I guess only 10 of them have joined so far. We'll wait for others to join and then we'll get started. In the meanwhile, I guess we have completed, we started with benchmarking and if I'm not wrong, we completed reasons for benchmarking, I guess, in the previous class. Can somebody confirm? Ashwini?
Types of benchmarking, sir.
Yeah.
Types.
So we completed reasons and then we started with types. We have started with types, right?
Yeah. Complete.
Ashwini, you're not audible.
Yes, sir. So we have
Mrinali,
started with
please
types
go
of
ahead.
benchmarking. So we have started with types of benchmarking.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay. Okay. Before we start, hardly 14 have joined, so I'll just ask questions to those who are there present. Okay, can you tell me what is benchmarking first of all? What is benchmarking?
So finding and implementing the best practices
Finding and
in the
implementing
business.
the best practices. Very nice, very nice. That is benchmarking. And can Runali tell me who started this concept of benchmarking?
So I don't know.
Rashmi?
No idea, sir.
Nora?
No idea, sir.
Meghna?
Don't know, sir.
Yes, sir.
Was that Meghna?
Jasvina. It was
Jasvina,
Jasvina.
okay. Yes, Jasvina, go ahead. Sanket, you're there?
Yes, sir.
Good to see you. I was searching for your photo in the newspaper. If I can find any, find your photo in the newspaper. You're not seen for last week. I hope you're all well
Yes, sir.
because I cannot see you and hope it's not your ghost speaking to me. Sanket?
Yes, sir.
Yes, can you tell me what is benchmarking?
Hello.
Sanket?
What's your name?
Jasmina, please mute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Sanket, can you tell me what is benchmarking? Sanket,
Yes, sir.
can you tell me what is benchmarking?
No idea, sir.
Were you there for previous classes?
No, sir.
Sanket, can you come in the video mode? Now don't tell me network issues and all. Your voice is loud. and
Technical
clear.
issues, sir. Why, sir, this, sir?
क्या हुआ? Can everybody come in the video mode quickly? Guys, please let's not waste time. Quickly come in the video mode. Once I start the class, you can go off the video, not an issue at all. Right now, come in the video mode, everyone. Dhanashri, Sushmita, Tejaswini, Saraswati, Akshata, Sanket, Shaila.
So your voice is coming very low. So not able to hear.
Now, can you hear me? I don't know what is the issue today. I tried with 2 mics now. This is the 3rd mic. Okay. How is the voice now?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Akshata, Sanket, Shaila, Jasvina, Ayman, please come in the video mode. Rohin, you two come in the video mode quickly. Let's not waste time. Guys, in the previous class, we started.
So not able to hear you.
Is it?
So we
So it's
can't hear
breaking in
you.
between.
it audible?
Yes,
Am I
sir.
audible?
Yes, sir.
Sure, I'm audible, loud and clear. Mrunali, please check.
Yes, sir, you're audible now.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, in the previous class, we started with benchmarking. We tried to understand what is benchmarking. Okay, and it was started by Xerox Corporation. That was the first thing that I dealt with, if you remember. Okay, I don't know. Most of you said that I don't know, but it was by Xerox Corporation in US that started with benchmarking, and later on it got famous, and everybody started using this concept of benchmarking. Okay, so as rightly said, I guess Munali said it, rightly said that benchmarking is looking for the best practices and following or implementing the best practices in the business is called as benchmarking. Okay, so we try to understand the uses of benchmarking, the reasons why we go for benchmarking, etc. Okay, now in this class we are going to understand what are the different types of benchmarking, and then continue with some more parts in benchmarking itself. Okay, so I'll just share the screen now. Just confirm if you can see the screen, if the screen is visible and my voice is audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so in the previous class we have completed this, that is the reasons for benchmarking. I'll just go back to the previous slide so that we understand what all we have covered in benchmarking. Okay, we started with benchmarking. What is benchmarking? Then features of benchmarking. Okay, then we started with reasons of benchmarking. Why is it required? And now today we are going to start with types of benchmarking. Okay, now types of benchmarking basically depends on two things. What are we comparing and with whom are we comparing? Okay, what are we comparing basically talks about performance or process and strategic. Okay, so if you're comparing yourself in terms of performance of some other industry or your competitor or the best in the industry, then you're talking about performance benchmarking. You're directly benchmarking yourself in terms of performance, in terms of profits, in terms of returns, okay, in terms of turnover. If you're comparing in this manner in terms of performance, then you're talking about performance benchmarking. Second comes your process benchmarking. Okay, if one particular best company in the industry is following a particular process for, let's say, purchase. Okay, for purchase of goods, they are following a particular process, and you adopt that process. Then, or you want to try out that process, or you want to reach at that particular level. Okay, then you're talking about process benchmarking, where you're benchmarking yourself to a best process in the industry. Okay, that is process benchmarking. Third one is strategic benchmarking. Strategic benchmarking is when you try to understand the strategies of others and you want to implement the same strategies in your organization. Whether it is in terms of human resource, or whether it is in terms of financials, or whether it is in terms of your marketing strategies, product strategies, etc., etc. Okay, so all these, when you're comparing strategies of the best, the leader in the business, and you try to adopt those strategies, then you're doing strategic benchmarking. Okay, this is when what you want to compare. Okay, what exactly you want to compare. On the basis of that, there are three things: performance benchmarking, then your process benchmarking, and strategic benchmarking. Second one is with whom are you comparing. Okay, first one is internal benchmarking, whenever you're comparing yourself with the internal, let's say departmental benchmarking. Okay, in a particular company there are n number of departments, and there is one best department. So the other department tries to follow that best department. Then we are talking about internal benchmarking, where the benchmarking happens within the industry, within the company itself. Okay, okay, when I talk about industry, then various companies in the same industry try to benchmark each other. That is also internal, but from a different perspective. When I'm looking at an industry from an overall industry point of view, if one company, if n number of companies are there in that particular industry, and one company is trying to benchmark with other company, then that is also internal benchmarking in terms of industry. But normally internal benchmarking happens within the company itself, where one person tries to follow another individual, or it's a department, or it's a group of people who try to follow the best performer. That is internal benchmarking. Second one is the competitive benchmarking, where you basically try to benchmark yourself with the competitors. Okay, you have your competitors, and they are following some of the practices which are really working for them. So you try to benchmark yourself with those competitors, try to adopt their processes, try to adopt their policies, etc., or try to adopt their strategies. Then we are talking about competitive benchmarking, when you're trying to compare your, or when you're trying to benchmark yourself with the competitors. Next one is functional or generic benchmarking, when you're trying to compare yourself, or when you're trying to benchmark yourself in terms of various functions. Okay, like there are lots of functions. In the functions is not your celebrations. Okay, functions are, let's say, marketing is a function, and HR, human resource, is a function, etc., etc. These are the various functions that you have. Quality management comes as a function. Okay, dispatching is a function, procurement is a function. Okay, so whenever you're comparing one function with another function, okay, then you're talking about functional benchmarking. And last one is external benchmarking, where you're trying to compare with the best one. He may not be a competitor, but the practices followed. Now suppose I want to implement, let's say, just in time. I will follow Kirloskar. Maybe I am into IT, or I'm into some other business, and Kirloskar Toyota is into manufacturing of automobiles, okay, or automobile parts. I may still want to benchmark myself with that particular company. That is when I say I'm external benchmarking. I'm doing an benchmarking with an external company or an external party. That is called as external benchmarking. So this is when you say, when you are benchmarking it with a particular individual or a company, you say whom to compare. So when you are talking about whom to compare, they are parties. Whereas when you say what to compare, then they are goals. What are you comparing? You're comparing performance, you're comparing process, you're comparing strategic, the strategies. Okay, so that is what to compare. Whereas whom to compare is the individuals or the parties with whom you're comparing yourself. It may be internal, it may be external, it may be competitive, or it may be functional. Okay, I hope you're clear with these types of benchmarking. Any doubts in understanding these types of benchmarking? Yes, anyone? Any doubts in understanding this? If you're clear,
No,
please give
sir.
a thumbs up so that I can continue. Yes, Rashmi?
So I said no doubts.
Okay, fine. Yeah, if you're clear, please give a thumbs up so that we can go ahead.
Sir, I have a small doubt.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So how to compare with the strategy?
See,
Like what is to
okay,
be compared?
strategy, I'll tell you. Okay, see, strategic, basically, let's say one of your competitor, okay, has adopted a unique marketing strategy. Okay, like he's a competitor. That means he's selling the same product as you're selling. Okay, but he's targeting only a specific segment of the market. Okay, that means his strategy is completely different. Okay, you find lots of strategies in marketing, especially. Okay, for example, let me take a simple example. Okay, in automobiles, let's say two-wheeler. Okay, if you remember this I guess Bajaj only. Okay, Bajaj came up with a bike which was made out of the ship, the INS Vikrant, the ship which was
Vikrant,
dismantled,
yeah.
and the bike was made out of. It was proclaimed that the bike is made out of the metal used in INS Vikrant. Okay, so that was
Yeah.
a strategy to emotionally connect with people. Okay, because most of the Indians are very emotionally connected when it comes to defense forces and the pride. It's about the pride of the country. Okay, so that was one of the strategy adopted to emotionally get connected with the people and then sell their bikes. Okay, so that may be one of the strategy that they have adopted. Now if you're
Okay.
following this strategy, and maybe you come up with some bike with some other with some unique feature in it, which again targets the pride of India. Okay, that is when you're comparing or when you're following a strategy adopted by others. You are benchmarking yourself in terms of strategies.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that is called as
Uh-huh.
strategic benchmarking.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so basically what you're doing here, you're trying to understand the best strategy in the business. What is the best strategy which is working, and you try to adopt that strategy.
Okay, sir.
Is it clear? Let me
Yes, sir.
take a very simple example. May not be relevant to your exam here, but yes. Okay. Suppose Meghna, you yourself tell me which subject you find difficult.
Um, last semester statistics.
Statistics. Okay, let's take this example of statistics. Okay, now you find statistics very difficult. Okay, now there is another person in your class, okay, who also is not very good in statistics, but he or she is scoring well. uh, Above average
Uh,
is what they are scoring. Okay, then you try to find out what are the strategies that he or she is adopting. How is she managing that particular performance? Okay, so you try to find out the strategy. Let's say Preeti. Okay, on the screen I can see Preeti's name. So Preeti is also, let's say, okay, Preeti may not be bad in at statistics, but let's say Preeti is also average in statistics, but she is performing well. So you try to find out, Meghna will try to find out what Preeti exactly is doing. What are the various strategies that she is adopting? How is she, when I say how is she studying, I'm talking about processes. But if she is adopting certain strategies like studying only few things, which is important, or trying to find out, uh, let's say, trying to search various internal papers of previous 5 6 years and trying to find out the most repeated questions and all, then that is a strategy. Okay, and then you
okay.
also try
Yeah.
to do the same thing. You try to find out the question papers, you try to find out the best, the most repeated questions, and concentrate on those questions, and then give your exam. That is what strategic comparison is, or your benchmarking is. You're benchmarking yourself in terms of strategy.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, but not all the companies reveal what is the strategy, no,
No,
sir.
no, no. See, it's not about. See, it's not that the companies will give you the strategy. You have to find it out. Now, will Preeti tell how she successful, how she became successful, or will Rashmi tell someone like, this is what I did and that is because of this I am successful? No. Everybody has their own strategy which they keep is secret normally. Okay, only when you become very successful and you have a lot of money, then you try to write books, or you try to give lectures, or you go to maybe edx and you try to your TEDx, sorry, TEDx, and you try to give a speech as to how to become successful. Till then, nobody shares their strategies, right? But it's up to you to find out. Correct? Preeti?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Just to give you a brief idea about all these things. Okay. Since this topic has come, and okay, about strategy, there is a incident that happened in Mahabharata. I don't know how many of you would be interested in knowing the story of Mahabharata. Okay. But yes, there was an incident when Dronacharya. I don't know how many of you know Dronacharya. First of all, fine. Let me tell you this. Dronacharya was made the chief of the army of the Kauravas, and he was good in making the various formations. Okay, they called as vyuha. Okay, formations.
You have.
So what happened there is, in one of when he was made the chief of the army. Okay, uh, he knew that there are lots of people of the Pandavas in their camp, and they used to give information to the Pandavas. So initially there was a strategy which was decided, and they were they were supposed to form the eagle view. Okay, the eagle formation. There is something called as an eagle formation. Okay, that, and the Pandavas knew about it because of their agents, or we call it as secret agents planted in the other camp. Okay, so they were prepared for an eagle formation, and they accordingly had formed their army. But what happened at when the day began, when the war on that particular day began, he changed his strategy. Okay, he called all the chiefs of the army, and he said, we are not going for an eagle view, but we are going for a chakra view. Okay, the circular formation. Okay, that was a surprise too. So that was a strategy, and nobody tells your strategy. If you want to win a battle, or if you want to win a competition, yes, you are not supposed to disclose your strategies over there. Okay, it has to be a strategy which is secret. It is for you. If everybody knows your strategy in playing chess, if the opponent player knows what you want, what is your next move, then what is the use of playing, right? So that is why strategies are not disclosed, but it is up to you to find out. Okay, if a particular company is doing a particular thing, then you need to apply your mind and understand what exactly it is doing, what is their exact strategy. Okay, so that is what strategic benchmarking is all about. Nobody tells you, okay, I'm doing this. You have to find it out. So I hope I've made this very clear in terms of strategic benchmarking. Okay, great. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Here we talk about the implementation process of benchmarking. Okay, now this was given by CAMS. Remember the name? CAMS, 5 phases of benchmarking. CAMPS, CAMS, 5 phases of benchmarking. Okay, so what are the various phases of benchmarking is? Planning, analysis, integration, action, and then comes your maturity, which is the last stage of the process. Okay, so let's understand what all we do in each of these phases. First comes planning. Okay, in the planning phase, identify what is to be benchmarked. Yes, you need to know what is to be benchmarked, whether you want to benchmark a competitor, whether you want to do internal benchmarking, whether you want to benchmark a process, whether you want to benchmark a strategy, etc., etc. You need to know what is to be benchmarked first. Okay, then identify companies for comparison. Okay, once I know, okay, I want to benchmark a process, then you try to identify which are the companies which are following the best processes. Okay, so identify the company, and then determine data collection methods and collect data. Okay, then once you identify the company, okay, this is the company which is following the best of the processes. Okay, and it has been successful because of these processes. Then you try to collect data. You try to first understand the method to be followed to collect the data, and then you collect the data from that company, or maybe direct from the internal sources, or somewhere from external sources. Okay, then comes your analysis. Determine current performance gap. Okay, once you know, okay, this is the process that they are following, you have collected the data, you know this is the process that they are following. Now you try to find out what you are doing and what is the gap between these two, that is your process and their process. What is the gap? You try to find out the gap. Okay, and then project future performance level. Okay, once you find out the gap, then you try to find out where you want to reach. Okay, because 100% attainment may not be possible, so you need to understand, okay, I want to at least follow let's say 60% of what they are following or what they are doing. 60% of the process can be adopted. That is what you do. Future project future performance levels. Then integration. After you do the analysis, okay, first is planning, what is to be benchmarked. Analysis is you try to compare your performance or your process with somebody else's with the best performance. That is analysis. Okay, and try to find out where you want to reach. That is the project future performance levels. Then you integrate. Now integration means what? Communicate benchmark findings and gain acceptance. Okay, so you have to communicate what you need to benchmark with all the stakeholders, because it's a process which involves everyone. You cannot just be an individual or a group of people who can benchmark and do it successfully. It is each and every person in the organization who has to know what has been benchmarked, and he needs to know his own responsibilities. So communicate benchmark findings and gain acceptance. You have to gain acceptance from everybody should accept it. Yes, this is what is benchmarked, and it is good for the company, or it's good for the individuals in the organization, etc., etc. So that acceptance level should be there. Then only it would be successful. So integration. Then establish functional goals. Once you have, you know what is to be benchmarked. You know that this is the process that I want to follow. Then you divide it into smaller parts, functional areas or functional parts, and then you allocate those functional goals, okay, to each and every functions like marketing or finance or HR or quality or production or operations or transportation, etc., etc. Okay, That is integration. That is getting everybody together to achieve that benchmarked goal. Okay. Next one is action. Okay. Once everybody knows about it, now comes your action. Okay. Develop action plans. How we are going to do that? Then implement specific actions and monitor progress. Yes, specific tasks to be given to each and every department or individuals, and that has to be monitored. And then recalibrate benchmarks. Now what is this recalibration of benchmark is? Try to understand this because it's a new word. Okay. Okay, am I audible? Am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So when I talk about recalibration, calibration is basically a very technical term. Okay. If you understand, calibration means, okay, you are instruments that you use for measurement. Okay, they have to be calibrated. Like, how do you know that weighing? Let's say you have a weighing instrument, which when you put 1 kg, it shows 1 kg. How will you come to know that? It has been calibrated because there are standard weights. Okay, and that those instruments, let's say a weighing machine where you stand and see your weight. Okay, when it shows 60 or when it shows 40, okay, that is your weight. Now how does that machine know that when this particular weight is 40? Because it has been calibrated. There are standard weights, and when you put that standard weight, it has let's say you have put 1 kg, then the instrument is calibrated to 1 kg. Okay, and then following, that is called as calibration. Okay, so why it has come over here is because you need to recalibrate the benchmarks. Okay, you have set a benchmark, you understood the process followed by others, you try to analyze it, you try to find out the gap, you try to have your future goals, you communicated it with others, integrated, everything is done. Okay, but now you find that, okay, this may not suit. Okay, after doing your actions, you may find okay, this may not be perfectly suiting or fitting my requirements, so I need to change it a bit. Okay, that is called as recalibration. Okay, it may not, so it is basically changing, making changes in your goals, making changes in your strategies, okay, as per your needs. Okay, that is called as recalibrating. Okay, and then once the recalibrating is done, again the process continues. Okay, but the last step of the process is maturity. Okay, now what is maturity basically is, okay, here you are going to basically, once your recalibration everything is done, okay, a leadership position has been attained and benchmarking process is completed. Sorry, benchmarking process basically ends over there, right? So just give me 1 minute. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, so a leadership position has been attained and the benchmarking practice have been fully integrated into the company's process. So that has been matured. Now it has become a part of your company. That is called as the maturity stage. That is the last stage in the benchmarking process. Okay, so this is your 5 camps, 5 steps benchmarking process. If you're clear with it, please give a thumbs up. If not, you can basically unmute yourself and ask your doubts if there are any in this particular process. Anyone, any doubts? If it is clear, please give a thumbs up so that I can go ahead with the next part. Okay, I guess most of you are clear with things, so I'll just continue with the next part. Okay, that is significance of benchmarking, that is the importance of benchmarking. Now I need not tell you all these things, because now since you have understood what is benchmarking, how it is done, okay, understanding the importance is much easier for you. So it's not that you have to write only these points, but you can write any relevant points which are there. Okay, but I'll just read out some important points, some significance of benchmarking. Okay, helps to know organizational strength and weaknesses. Yes, because you try to understand where you are, you try to analyze yourself first. Okay, so benchmarking helps you to know what your strengths and what your weaknesses are. Second one is it helps you in satisfying the customers, because when you benchmark yourself, you're following the best of the practices, you're following the best, the market leader, so you're following quality stuff, right? So whenever you're doing that, ultimately your customers are satisfied because you're providing them what they require. Okay, then it motivates employees because employees know that they have to reach somewhere. Okay, so they if you it definitely motivates the employees because uh, your goals and achievements are basically backed with performance incentives, etc. Okay, so employees are also motivated to achieve those targets so that they are also benefited with the uh, various incentives provided. Then uh, help realize the level of performance. Definitely when you have benchmarking, you will definitely achieve the level of performance that is required. Okay, then improves competitive advantage. Yes, when you're benchmarking yourself, your processes, your strategies, your goals, your performance, everything, when you're benchmarking it with the market leader, you're trying to reach that level and your competitive advantage increases. Okay, then promotes changes and brings innovation. Definitely when you're benchmarking someone, you have to change. Okay, you cannot say that I'll do whatever I'm doing for so many years, I'll continue to do the same thing and then benchmark. It's not possible. When you are benchmarking someone, then you have to bring in changes in your processes, in your attitude, in your behavior also. So promotes changes and brings innovation. Yes, definitely, because somebody else is following something which is more innovative or which is different. So you need to innovate and bring something else into the on the table. Okay, so that you get that competitive advantage. So it brings in innovation and ultimately cost effectiveness, because you're following the best leader in the business and who is let's say who is making huge profits. So you, when you try to follow those processes or those benchmarks, definitely you will try to save cost. Okay, when you follow those processes, yes, it is cost effective because you try to save cost. Okay, and become more profitable. So that is these are some of the significance of benchmarking that you can definitely uh, make a note of. Okay, so any doubts in any of these points? If it is clear, again, please give a thumbs up. Zora, if you have any doubts, you can just speak up. Zora, are you there? Okay, great. I guess it's clear. So let's understand the pitfalls of benchmarking, some of the disadvantages of benchmarking. Yes, it is complex because every company is different. Okay, so it cannot be exactly what others are following. You cannot exactly follow the same thing. So it becomes very complex in nature. It's not as simple as it seems to be. Okay, it's not like I compare and I directly do it. No, it's not so easy. It's very complex because lots of changes have to take place in the organization. Behavioral changes have to happen. Technological changes have to happen. Lots of uh, financial needs, financial requirements would be there, human resource requirement would be there. So it becomes very complicated, complex basically. Then difficult. Yes, again it is difficult because first of all the competitors or others, the best people in the market will not reveal their strategies. They will not tell you what they are exactly doing. So it becomes very difficult to benchmark someone. You just know, okay, they are performing, but to benchmark them exactly, it becomes very difficult. Cannot quickly replace performance. Yes, it is not very quick. It is a ongoing process. We have already seen that. Then not a panacea for all quality. Okay, it's not that we can achieve quality through this. Okay, and then time consuming. Yes, definitely it is time consuming because you need to change everything. Okay, everything has to be revamped and done in a new way. So it is a lot of time consume. It consumes time. Okay, so these are some of the pitfalls of benchmarking. I hope I'm clear with all these things. We are left with less than 30 seconds. If you have any doubts, you can go ahead, or I'll stop it over here. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask, or we'll stop the class. If you're clear, please give a thumbs up, because I was very fast in pitfalls because quite self-explanatory in nature.